What's up, my friends? Welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. We're here with Aroden, Morrigan, and Alistair is outside, I believe, with Morrigan's mother. We're gonna go check on him in a second. Well, actually, we already did talk to Morrigan last episode, so we're good. Ostagar is pretty much destroyed. The king is dead. Duncan is dead. The rest of the Grey Wardens are dead. And there possibly could be some stragglers that the Darkspawn are taking down in the deep roads that Morrigan said we may be able to save, but I don't think it's wise to just run right into the horde. So, yeah. Obviously, Morrigan's mother saved us somehow. She said she turned into a giant bird and plucked us from the tower. So, yeah. If we're believing that, who knows at this point. I guess anything's possible at this point, but let's... Hold on.
You must speak to Mother, then be gone. You have an army of Darkspawn to avoid, and 'twould be best to get an early start.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I will go then.
I will stay and make something to eat.
Well, if you're going to make a sandwich, you might as well make me one too. Alright, let's get outside. See what her mother and Alistair's up to. He's gotta be hurting, man.
See, here is your fellow Grey Warden. You worry too much, young man.
You're alive. I thought you were dead for sure.
Well, it takes more than a few Darkspawn to kill me, Alistair.
Duncan's dead. The Grey Wardens. Even the king. They're all dead. Oh, this doesn't seem real. If it weren't for Morrigan's mother, we'd be dead on top of that tower.
Do not talk about me as if I am not present, lad.
I didn't mean... But what do we call you? You've never told us your name?
Names are pretty, but useless. The chastened folk call me Flemeth. I suppose it will do.
The Flemeth? From the legends? Daveth was right. You're the Witch of the Wilds, aren't you?
And what does that mean? I know a bit of magic, and it has served you both well, has it not?
Okay, so since we are Dalish, we're going to go over this. The Dalish pretty much revere Flemeth. They actually call her Asha Belinar. For some reason, I can't remember the meaning of that name. The Woman of Many Years or something like that. But anyways, so we know about Flemeth. We know all about Flemeth. Obviously, the Dalish talk about Asha Belinar a lot. So, having her here and us seeing Flemeth in general is probably giving Aroden a bit of chills. Also, a sign of relief in the same aspect. So, I don't know. It's an interesting wrinkle between the Dalish and Asha Belinar itself. So, if you're Flemeth, you must be very old and powerful.
Must I? Age and power are relative. It depends on who is asking. Compared to you, yes, on both counts.
Then why didn't you save Duncan? He was our leader.
I am sorry for your Duncan, but your grief must come later. In the dark shadows before you take vengeance, as my mother once said. Duty must come now. It has always been the Grey Warden's duty to unite the lands against the Blight. Or did that change when I wasn't looking?
You ever wonder why she really never did save Duncan? I mean, maybe she couldn't. She could have been overwhelmed if she swooped down there. Instead, she saved us. Obviously, we can talk about it later. We'll talk about it, I guess, towards the end of the game. As of right now, we can't really talk about it. But I do always wonder why she never actually saved Duncan. It's just kind of weird. Well, of course not, old woman.
But we were fighting the Darkspawn. The king had nearly defeated them. Why would Loghain do this?
Now that is a good question. Men's hearts hold shadows darker than any tainted creature. Perhaps he believes the Blight is an army he can outmaneuver. Perhaps he does not see that the evil behind it is the true threat.
The archdemon.
Well, what is this archdemon exactly?
It is said that long ago, the Maker sent the old gods of the ancient Tevinter Imperium to slumber in prisons deep beneath the surface. An archdemon is an old god awakened and tainted by darkspawn. Believe that or not, history says it's a fearsome and immortal thing, and only fools ignore history.
Well, it is Chantry propaganda and Chantry tales, but you know, maybe some of the stuff the Chantry says is indeed true. I mean, you can say that the chant of light is similar to things in our world, I guess the Bible or whatever, but that stuff's so rewritten, and also this stuff is so rewritten itself. So what is true, none of us really knows. I mean, I guess you have to believe in something. I mean, it is a good story, it has a damn good tale. So, Flemeth, will you help us fight this Blight?
Me? I am just an old woman who lives in the wilds. I know nothing of blights and darkspawn.
Well, whatever Loghain's insanity, he obviously thinks the darkspawn are a minor threat. We must warn everyone this isn't the case.
And who will believe you? Unless you think to convince this Loghain of his mistake.
He just betrayed his own king. If Al Eamon knew what he did at Ostagar, he would be the first to call for his execution.
Well, Al Eamon, is that someone important?
I suppose. Al Eamon wasn't at Ostagar. He still has all his men. And he was Kaelin's uncle. I know him. He's a good man, respected in the Landsmeet. Of course, we could go to Redcliffe and appeal to him for help.
Well, I'm sure he's not the savior of the world. I mean, I'm sure he has not unlimited forces. Obviously, Loghain has a shite ton of forces, so yeah. So, everyone will see the danger the Blight poses, right?
You could wait for the archdemon to make its appearance. I imagine that might be convincing.
It's been centuries since the last Blight. Nobody will take it seriously until it's too late.
Well, we need the rest of the Grey Wardens. I mean, all they had to do was damn wait. I mean, obviously, if they would have waited, Ostagar would probably have been passed by the Darkspawn and they would have ran rampant in the wilds. But the thing is, if they would have waited, we would have had at least more backup, and Loghain would have never stand for Oral Legion Wardens in Ferelden, so... I mean, we need the rest of the Grey Wardens.
I don't know how to contact them, or if they're even on their way. We need to do something now.
You have more at your disposal than you think.
Of course! The treaties! Grey Wardens can demand aid from dwarves, elves, mages, and other places. They're obligated to help us during a blight.
I may be old, but dwarves, elves, mages, this Arl Eamon, and who knows what else. This sounds like an army to me.
So can we do this? Go to Redcliffe and these other places and build an army?
Well... why not? It's what Grey Wardens do, right? That's obviously what Duncan was going to do with the treaties. He was obviously going to go around to other places to get aid from these people, so why not?
So you are set then, ready to be Grey Wardens.
Well, to be honest with you, Flemeth, I'd be happy just staying alive.
Come to think of it, that would be nice.
Well, don't expect me to do everything. There is, however, one more thing I can offer you.
The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none?
The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be joining them.
Such a shame. What?
You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears.
I mean, hey. We could use all the help we want, and... even though she's human, think Aroden might sense a little, what's that? You gotta say, because Aroden, he don't really, I'm guessing we never really seen too many humans before, so seeing a human like her, how she's in the wilds, and you know how she lives in the wilds, it's almost like the Dalish live in, so it's very intriguing to him, so he is definitely intrigued in Morrigan, so yeah, I think it's an excellent idea.
Have I no say in this?
You have been itching to get out of the wilds for years. Here is your chance. As for you, Wardens, consider this repayment for your lives.
Well, very well. We'll take her with us.
Not to look a gift horse in the mouth, but won't this add to our problems? Out of the wilds, she's an apostate.
If you do not wish help from us illegal mages, young man, perhaps I should have left you on that tower.
Point taken.
Mother, this is not how I wanted this. I'm not even ready.
You must be ready. Alone, these two must unite for Eldon against the Darkspawn. They need you, Morrigan. Without you, they will surely fail, and all will perish under the Blight. Even I.
I understand.
And you, Wardens, do you understand? I give you that which I value above all in this world. I do this because you must succeed.
Well, you don't need to tell us twice. We understand.
Allow me to get my things, if you please. I am at your disposal, Grey Wardens. I suggest a village north of the wilds as our first destination. 'Tis not far, and you will find much you need there. Or, if you prefer, I shall simply be your silent guide. The choice is yours.
Well, I'd, I prefer you speak your mind.
Haha, you will regret saying that.
Dear, sweet mother, you are so kind to cast me out like this. How fondly I shall remember this moment.
Well, I always said, if you want something done, do it yourself. Or hear about it for a decade or two afterwards.
Do you really want to take her along because her mother says so?
At this point, Alistair, we don't really have a choice. I mean, we could say, screw you, you're not coming with us, but at least Flemeth did save us, so we have to give her the benefit of the doubt. We can't just turn away help at this point, regardless if it's strange company or not. I mean, we need all the help we can get.
I guess you're right. The Grey Wardens have always taken allies where they could find them.
I am so pleased to have your approval.
It's so crazy how we are already pretty much the leader of this. And Alistair's quite an older Grey Warden than we are, so. But, Aroden commands respect by the way he battles. Actually, I have some questions.
I may have answers. Ask.
You may. You better have some damn answers. Because my head is a swirl right now. So, are you Flemeth's daughter?
'Twas she who raised me, and thus I consider her my mother, born from her womb or not. 'Tis what you meant, yes?
I mean, it's kind of just difficult imagining her,
Young? Married? Pregnant? Who said she was any of these things? I certainly did not.
Well, have you ever been outside the wilds?
From time to time. I have been to the village I mentioned, watched its people, and pondered what curious beings they are. On occasion, I purchased goods from the village merchants. There I spoke with men a little. There they stared and knew me as an outsider. Mother wishes for me to expand the horizon of my experience beyond the wilds. Even she was not born here.
I really dig how Morrigan is. It's actually Morrigan's personality, how she's kind of an outsider. Just Morrigan in general, how she's an outsider completely, isolating herself just like the Dalish do. So her and Aroden might get along pretty darn well, my friends. Anyway, so is that what you want?
What I want is to see mountains. I wish to witness the ocean and step into its waters. I want to experience a city rather than see it in my mind. So, yes, this is what I want. Actually, leaving is harder than I thought, however. Perhaps Mother is right. It must simply be done quickly.
True enough. So this village to the north, can you tell me about it?
'Tis a small place of little consequence called Lothering. No more than a stop along your imperial highway where travellers purchase goods from local farms and smiths. I would go more often were it not for the town's chantry. It makes the village particularly intolerant and unpleasant for a stranger such as me.
A chantry? And they never in all this time thought that maybe you were a witch?
Of course they have. They even called out their Templars once. They found nothing.
So is there any reason to even go to Lothering then?
I mention it for its tavern, where travellers gather with news from other places. 'Tis small enough that our appearance might go unnoticed. Beyond that, 'tis close, and I know the way.
Well, it's a start. It gives us some kind of path. So how exactly are we going to get past the Darkspawn? You did say most of them moved on, but there's still going to be a little bit here.
The real question is how we are going to get your friend past the Darkspawn, is it not?
That's true. We can sense the Darkspawn. Conversely, they can sense us.
I don't really sense any Darkspawn.
You won't right away. No. It takes time. We should be able to sneak past smaller groups, but larger ones, or particularly intelligent Darkspawn, will always detect us.
Mother has given me something else for them to smell instead as we pass by. 'Tis important we head out of the wilds, however, not farther in.
So the Darkspawn are camped farther in the forest?
They come from underground, like an eruption. They broke through deep within the forest, and that is where they will be most concentrated.
I kind of wish we can see the spot where they actually broke through in the wilds, where the big old massive hole in the ground, or whatever the hell they're even coming out of. That would be pretty cool. So what skills do you have exactly?
I know a few spells, though I am nowhere near as powerful as Mother. I have also studied history and your Grey Warden treaties.
Can you cook?
I can cook, yes.
Well, then you can substitute for Alistair, because his cooking sucks.
Right, my cooking will kill us. That's all I meant.
I also know at least 15 different poisons that grow right here in this marsh. Not that I would suggest 'tis at all related to cooking.
Well, I guess I have no more questions.
Farewell, Mother. Do not forget the stew on the fire. I would hate to return to a burned-down hut.
Bah! 'Tis far more likely you will return to see this entire area, along with my hut, swallowed up by the Blight.
All I meant was...
Yes, I know. Do try to have fun, dear.
Oh, Morrigan loves her mother. She obviously does have feelings for Flemeth here, which is very cool. Okay, can we talk to Morrigan once more?
The time has come to leave the wilds. Do you not agree?
Is there a... Yes, there's a raven here. Very cool. Well, let's talk to Flemeth before we leave.
Have you not left yet? I hope you are not hanging about for some stew.
To be honest with you, I am hanging about for some stew. I don't even know what kind of meat you got in there. Probably... Who even knows? At this point. You know, you could come with us.
I prefer to remain here. Considering what the world has done to me, I have already done more than it deserves.
And... But, I mean, you're way more powerful than we are, obviously. You're some kind of powerful shapeshifter, we know that.
It is not a matter of power. No one person in all of Thedas has enough power to stand against a Blight. Were that the case, sending you two would be quite the jest. What is important is that you are both Grey Wardens. Your task is to unite the land, inspire its men, and turn them from their petty politics to face the archdemon. In that, you are more powerful than I by far. I am but an old woman whom the world has largely forgotten.
So what exactly has the world done to you?
That is between the world and me. Your business is elsewhere.
So could you answer some questions for me?
Questions, questions. One would think a Grey Warden would be more interested in action.
Nope. I love talking, Flemeth. I'm gonna talk you right out of your small clothes. Never mind. Anyways, can I ask about your magic?
What good would it do you? You are no mage. It is sufficient that I have passed on my knowledge to Morrigan, and I pass her on to you.
Like a worn dress or an old pair of shoes.
Are you still here? You cannot give them away, apparently.
Flemeth wouldn't have none of that, man. If we attempted to, get with Flemeth. She's a bit old, but hey. What's the saying? The older the wine, the finer it is, or something like that, so... to each their own, my friends. Anyways. So how long have you lived here in the wilds, Flemeth?
Since before I was wrinkled and old. You may think it strange, but I was once young and beautiful, just as Morrigan is now. Yes, men desired Flemeth then, and some even killed for her.
You don't really seem too happy about that.
I am not, nor was I then. It dictated all that followed. But enough. You have your task to complete.
What will you do once we're gone?
Have a moment's peace for once.
I hear the peace of the grave is eternal.
This is the thanks I get for feeding you and putting up with you for this long. May your child one day treat you the same.
Feed me, she says. Without me, I swear, she shall be caked in dirt and eating tree bark inside of a month.
I hear it's a healthy appetite. Anyways, do you have any advice?
About the Darkspawn?
About anything, really.
Then hear this. I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to chase mortal goals. Remember, it is up to you to destroy the Blight. Pray not for someone else to destroy it. It will always nip at your heels.
Yep, there is no middle ground with the Blight. You have to destroy him. It would be nice if there was some kind of middle ground, but I don't think there is. Anyways, I have no more questions.
Then we are done. Now, if you will excuse me, I have some dinner to eat.
Well, have fun. Let's check in with Alistair.
What do you need?
You want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
Well, he was still a good guy, Alistair. I mean, I still kind of mourn his loss, even though he was a damn human. Well, I guess he was like a father figure to Alistair. Alistair really liked Duncan, man. He got really uptight when we said something about Duncan in the beginning, so... I guess he was like a father figure to you, so I understand.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
Well, I guess you can say he had you, at least.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
No, I really understand. Because Aroden itself, we never wanted to go to that damn tower. We wanted to go down there and fight with the rest of the Grey Wardens. So I can understand what the hell, how he's even feeling.
course, I'd be dead then, wouldn't I? It's not like that would make him happier. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. The Dalish don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
Well, obviously Duncan did care. The last second right before he did perish, he looked up at the tower to see if it was lit. That might have gave him a small sense of hope, I guess, and relief that the tower was lit. Because he was obviously know that he was dying right there, and his last couple thoughts were probably of Alistair and what had become of Alistair and us. So we bury them and plant a tree over the remains.
That sounds quite beautiful. Life springing from death. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
You know, maybe I'll go to High Ever with you whenever you go.
I'd like that. So would he, I think.
It's good to honor our dead. Dalish, okay, regardless if Duncan is a human or whatnot, Dalish still honor their dead. As we know with Tamlin, even though Tamlin, we never found a body, we still had a funeral for him to honor the dead. You know, the humans don't even do that. So obviously we're going to want to definitely go see Duncan and see him off. If we can.
What do you need?
Let me ask them one more thing. Let me ask you something.
Ask away.
I want to know about this Aroden person that you talked about.
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfells. A whole pack of them, in fact.
I mean, that's not really what I remember you telling Flemeth.
Well, if you're going to go and pay attention to the facts, then fine. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Aroden wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
So if he wasn't your father, so who is?
I know who I was told was my father. He died even before my mother did, anyhow. It isn't important. Aroden eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10, just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Well, kind of an awful thing to do to a child, just cast them out.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
I mean, hey, you were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Well, it seems like Alistair's an outcast as well, which is another damn good thing for Aroden to like. As of right now, obviously his opinions of humans are actually changing a bit. The more we spend time with Alistair, And going forward with Morgan as well, probably. Now that Morgan is here, though, let's go ahead and mess with her abilities before we head out. Do we even have... Matter of fact, we don't. Let's go ahead and grab the Raven. Take it. You know, I won't lie, from an RP standpoint,
As you wish.
I freaking love this stuff. I love her shapeshifter stuff. But I don't know, my friends. I don't think I'm actually going to give it to her. I think I'm going to take it out. But I can tell you we'll probably be hanging out with Morgan quite a lot. And the reason why I'm going to respec her like this is because... I'm going to kind of want to bring her a lot. So we don't have to be stuck with the other mage all the time. So I'm going to make her a spirit healer and a blood mage probably. Because, well, I need to get my blood magic fix in this game because I'm not a mage. So I need to have somebody doing it. Anyway, so... give her a good deal of willpower for now. Let's give her... we can always respec her later, but for now... she's going to need willpower because she's not a blood mage at this point. 28, 25. That seems about good. Obviously, we need 1 into herbalism for now. So 1 into herbalism, I think, lets us make the potions. But even so, we probably have enough to give that lady anyway. But let's just do it anyway. So 1 in a group heal. Obviously, Winter's Grasp for sure. You know, maybe not frost weapons because... Glyph of Warding. A caster inscribes a glyph on the ground that bestows nearby allies with bonuses to defense and mental resistance, as well as a bonus to missile attacks. Obviously, I want Glyph of Paralysis. Of course, this... we'll give her telekinesis weapons, why not? Telekinesis weapons are good for armor-based opponents. And that's about it. The bonus to armor penetration is based on the caster's spell power and provides greater damage against heavily armored foes. I don't really have any problem with people that aren't heavy armor. So we might as well use that. It's actually probably really good. I would love Welcome Bomb, but it's probably going to kill us. We can't really worry about that right now. Let's see. I want to make her a healer type damager, but if we use all this, she's going to be so just strung out on nothing. She's going to have no type of mana. I want to try the Glyph of Warding, though. To drop that right on top of Aroden. Let's give it a shot for now. The caster gains and enhances an ally's aptitude in battle, granting a bonus to attack. Obviously, we're going to have to get this because I want to get haste, so let's get this for now. It's really shitty because... God, it's just so many abilities I want to give her that I'm not going to be able to give her. Because these hexes are going to be great, man. I'm not used to not giving Morrigan like horror or something. You know what? Horror is probably going to come in handy for now. Heroic offense. Let's give her horror. Because I would love to give her sleep and I would love to give her awakened nightmare. And I want to give her death hex, damn it. But I also want to go heavy into this stuff. Glyph of Paralysis, I feel, is better than Paralyze. Miasma's probably good. Damn it, Austin's strategizing here. I wonder if she really needs this ability. You know what? No. Let's make her a controller buffer. No damage abilities right now. What does this orientate do? The caster is several mental manipulation to disorient the target for a short time, making the target a less effective combatant by inflicting penalties to attack and defense. That's actually pretty damn good. We'll actually hit people with that when they're fighting Aroden. Okay, so we're not going to use an offensive spell right now. So we'll go ahead and give her... Give her the Glyph of Warding. Gives us a bonus to all types of stuff. Okay. Doing something different with Morrigan, obviously. Telekinesis weapons. Let's set everything up. You know, I need to set my mage up for sure. What is this? Glyph of Warding. Obviously, she's good now. Let's go ahead and give her some stuff. Amulet of War Mage. She's already got a necklace, so... Give her that belt. What's the Lucky Stone? 1 all attributes. Give her that. 1 dexterity. Well, she's not really going to use that. It's not going to be any beneficial to her. I wonder if this ring even does anything. Okay, this ring gives you like 1%. Here. Take it. Have it, Morrigan. Why not? It gives you a little bit more defense. Or not defense. Gives you a little bit more XP. Oh my goodness, we haven't even made it outside the Flemeth's hut yet, my friends. And we are just completely... a whole episode here. Anyways, let's save.
Do this, do that.
Do this, do that. And go ahead and get out of here. Okay, Lothering, a small town just off the Imperial Highway at the edge of the hinterlands. Let's go ahead and get going.
And I expect each of you to supply these men. We must rebuild what was lost at Ostagar, and quickly. There are those who would take advantage of our weakened state if we let them. We must defeat this Darkspawn incursion, but we must do so sensibly and without hesitation.
Your lordship, if I might speak. You have declared yourself Queen Anora's regent, and claim we must unite under your banner for our own good. But what of the army lost at Ostagar? Your withdrawal was most... fortuitous.
Everything I have done has been to secure Ferelden's independence. I have not shirked my duty to the throne, and neither will any of you!
The Banorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it.
Understand this. I will brook no threat to this nation from you or anyone.
Bantegan, please!
Your Majesty, your father risks civil war. If Eamon were here...
Bantegan, my father is doing what is best.
Did he also do what was best for your husband, your Majesty?
Well, Logan seems to have lost it. And that was quite a hell of a shot that Tegan gave her. I mean, obviously they heard about it. Logan pulling his troops out and leaving the king. Yeah, buddy. Our faithful warhound that we saved. Oh. He's got a whole horde of darkspawn just over here. Well, let's go ahead and get right into the fray. I dare say I don't think I want to taunt right now, because we'll get obliterated. Let's get on Alistair. Try to take as much as we can out. What does Morrigan got? Let's stun. Where's Aroden? Okay, at this point, we probably go ahead and taunt. Morrigan, let's put Glyph of Warding on. And then, where's the big one at? The Alpha? We're gonna have to horror him. Okay, Aroden's actually barely taking no damage. This Glyph of Warding might be a wonderful thing. I've never actively used it. Good job, Alistair. We didn't take no damage. That works. I think this is the Mabari I helped back in Ostagar.
I think he was out there looking for you. He's chosen you. Mabari are like that. They call it imprinting.
Does this mean we're going to have this mangy beast following us about now? Wonderful.
He's not mangy.
You know, I've always kind of wanted a dog like this. I always wondered what Aroden was, the obsession with their dogs are. Now we obviously know firsthand how valuable them Mabari are, so maybe it's meant to be. Well, obviously we cannot name this dog Buttkiss since we did that in our first Let's Play, so how about... Brucey? That seems to be a good name for him, huh? Yeah.
This should be easy enough.
Let's go around looting.
As you wish.
Make sure we got everything. Okay. Let's talk to Brucey. You see anything interesting, Brucey? Brucey has brought you an item. Maybe it's the items that are magically disappearing when I try to loot them. Anything else, bud? Okay. Hey, Brucey. Anything else? Brucey seems to find a slightly dirty pair of silk pantaloons. Aha! One can never have too many underwear. Can he find anything else? Brucey doesn't seem to find anything. Let's just keep clicking on him. See if he... Brucey doesn't seem to find anything. Come on, Brucey. Brucey has brought you a tattered old book. Some of the pages have been chewed. Very chewed and moist book. Let me read that. Okay, I begin to suspect that we are being manipulated as if some unseen hand far above us. Always I hear the sound of clicking, click, click, click. Several pages are missing, and much of the ink on the remaining page has run together, and then told them I wouldn't take any cheese unless it came directly from the revered mother's hand. Mud or something similar has soaked into the pages here, day 115. My mother told me I was special. I never knew how right she was. The ink had smeared horribly. It was Yaceris. I swear it. It looked just like the craving in the Arl's drawing room. I sent it to the circle to verify, but I haven't heard. Okay. Anything else, Brucey? Might as well just keep clicking on them. Because we're going to end the episode right here. Brucey doesn't seem to have found nothing. Hey. Come on, Brucey, give me that darn staff. Brucey brought you an item. Anything else? Okay, I'll do that off camera, my friends, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save here before we head into Lothering so we can start a fresh episode next time we come on with the start of Lothering completely so we don't break it up. But anyways, it's been a pleasure as always. It's nice that we got a full party again and we got, I guess, Morrigan on board. It's good that we have at least Ostagar's in the past at this point. It does suck with what happened, obviously, but we have our hands full with a lot of shite coming forward. And it looks like Logain has completely... No, he's going to be an issue. He's definitely going to be an issue for us in the future, so we're going to have to play our cards right. Anyways, my friends, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Have a good one. Until next time, take care.